And welcome back, guys, to another episode of Katawa Shoujo. We finished off our date with Lily, and we learned a little bit about her past, as well as us telling her about ours. And we found out that we are all quite odd together. Yes, yes. And now the day, I guess we're in the middle of the night, and it sounds as if Hasao fell out of bed. I'm going to assume. Ugh. I snap upwards out of my sheets and sit bolt upright in bed, as if an electric shock had just run through my entire body. The night air feels cold against the sweat on my bare skin. My breathing short and rugged, nearly to the point of hyperventilation. Uh-oh, that's not good. This heart condition is flaring up. Mind racing, I bring my hand to my head in an attempt to soothe my body's panic state. It takes me a number of seconds to realize my hand is shaking violently, even as I press it against my face. More seconds pass in complete silence, my desperate attempt to subdue my body and mind slowly, thankfully working. Gathering myself, I start taking measure of the state I'm in. I feel like I've run a marathon, every muscle feeling tensed, and sweat particularly pouring off my face. Practically, not particularly. I carefully direct my attention to the beating of my chest, measuring out the rhythm in my head. Sure enough, my unreliable heart is functioning properly for once. Just what the hell was that? A heart attack? A bad nightmare? Medicine side effects? I've heard about panic attacks, and this does seem to have the hallmarks of one. I can't even be bothered thinking about it right now. I feel utterly exhausted yet completely awake after this experience. I look over to the other side of my bed, the pale white of the silent figure's face almost glowing in the nighttime darkness of the room. Just the sight of her is enough to calm me down significantly. Her graceful demeanor persists, even while she's asleep, her perfectly measured breathing and gentle face making it impossible to tell whether she's awake or truly sleeping. Giving in to the temptation, I delicately run my fingertips over her hand. Her skin is soft to the touch, as it always has been, yet warm even in the cold night. It's at times like this, silently appreciating each other's presence, that I feel we're closest. My fingers stop at her wrist, and I bring my hand back down to the bed beside me. I'm not entirely sure why, but as we became even closer to each other, it felt as if something grew between us. I'm not entirely sure what it is, nor whether it existed before we'd fallen in love. Everything is moving so fast. I don't mind it at all, but it feels unlike Lily to be pushing things this much. That's what I'm saying is, I have a feeling she doesn't have a lot of time left with us. And this is what he's starting to realize, and I'm starting to realize it too. Like this forwardness, all these things building up, and like it is one thing, like the confession and everything like that, because she needed to confess before it was too late. But it looks like that inevitability is still here. So, I don't know. Thankfully, there aren't any students milling around in the hallways at this hour of the morning, lest I be interrogated on why I'm carrying 2 plates of breakfast to my room while dressed, and an obviously hastily donned uniform. That isn't to say things like this never happen, of course. A single security guard patrolling between 2 sets of bedrooms situated right next to each other is a very small force compared to adolescent hormones. Come to think of it, the fact that it's Monday morning probably helps. I'm not really sure why, but Mondays seem to bother me less than they do most others. It takes a little creative use of my hands and elbow, but eventually I manage to work the door to my dormitory room open. Stepping inside, I see Lily just getting up from bed and tiredly rubbing her eyes. She looks a mess, but just like most other times I've seen her soon after she wakes, she really isn't a morning person. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. She groggily shakes her head. The morning light illuminating her makes for a very pleasant sight. It's okay. I needed to get up anyway. What time is it? I put my plate down on my desk and turn the clock around to check the time. Still early. Don't worry, there's plenty of time left before school. She sits on the side of the bed and begins to sniff the air. As she does so, I quickly move her plate away and put it on the desk beside mine. Yes, I got us some breakfast. Shower and clothes come first, though. She stands still for a moment, with her chin pointed slightly out. I gladly acquiesce and press my lips to hers, savoring the soft feeling before breaking off. With a small, sweet smile, apparently quite satisfied, she slowly makes her way to the showers. Wait, this is... He doesn't have a shower in his room. So, is she just gonna go bathe in the in the dormitory washrooms? This is the guy's dorm. Is she allowed I mean, it's not that she isn't allowed to do it. It's just, do you think it's fucking safe? Though, to be fair, this floor may only have Kenji and Hisao on it. So even then, like, Kenji probably wouldn't even notice her, to be perfectly frank. I stretch out and try to wake myself up a little more, briefly looking at the steaming dishes on the desk. Rice, fish, miso soup, and some vegetables. A standard breakfast for a somewhat unusual day. I grab the bottles from my desk and start taking my daily regimen of pills. Sometimes I wonder what these things are even good for, given all the troubles I've had since the initial accident. I can't even say that it doesn't hurt to take them, considering the side effects so far. Well, whatever. Doctor's orders are that I have to take them, and rationally suggest that I'd be well served to trust his judgment over mine. Like, this is the thing. You didn't take them for one day, and you almost died, dude. Like, we cannot stress enough that he forgot to take his evening and morning medication, then decided to go for a long walk and almost had a heart attack. How is he still in the mindset of like, I don't understand why I need to take these? Are you goddamn serious, Isao? Is this where the protagonist gets unreasonably stupid? This better not be one of those. Because that's just a little hard to believe. It doesn't take long for the noise of the shower to cease, a quick one apparently being fine for Lee given the circumstances. Emerging from the bathroom, she looks significantly more awake, having had a chance to collect herself. Without a word, I gently take her hand in mine and guide her to my desk. Considering I don't have a table in my room as she does, it'll have to do. Thank you, Hisao. What did you prepare for breakfast? Just rice and some vegetables. Something fast. Her face lights up at the revelation. That's quite a breakfast. This is normal for you? Now she's just being nice. I have a little doubt, considering her past, that this isn't exactly a high-class meal by her standards. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Just because we're students doesn't mean we can't take it lightly. That was my belief anyway. From what others I've talked to have said, I might be in the minority. I take a seat on the side of my bed and begin eating together with Lily, her chopsticks slightly tapping out the outlines of the vegetables, just as I noticed her do during our date. This is quite nice, Hisao. I had no idea you could cook this well. This time she must be more genuine. I can tell that much. That said, cooking really isn't anything special at all. After a bit of practice, it's pretty easy to make a simple dish. Most of the credit goes to modern technology. Still, after years of cooking for myself, I should hope so. I got bored of eating instant noodles and ordering pizza every time my parents were both working, so I taught myself how to make a few meals. I'm still trying to get a knack for it, though. Okay, now, obviously they're in Japan. Ordering pizza is really expensive in Japan, from what I've heard. I haven't personally gone to Japan, so I don't know, but I've heard that ordering pizza. So if he is able to order pizza, Hisao can't be too broke. He can't have it's not like a Modern Family type of situation. You know, like it probably could just be a foresight on the writer's part, that they're just sort of like, oh yeah, no, like TV dinners and instant noodles and ordering pizza, you know, like a Western sort of thing. But I don't know. It just seems a little odd that Hisao was able to order pizza. You'll make a good wife someday, Hisao. I take a grain of rice and place it onto my thumb before carefully taking aim and giving it a good flick. Lily jumps a little as it hits her cheek, right on target. I can't help chuckling a little at her expense as she lowers her brow and tries her best to assume a harsh and serious expression. Oh, that's right. What is it? Did you have any problems sleeping last night? You seemed restless. So, she was awake back then, or at least partly so. Whether it was my heart or the nightmare caused by the side effects of my medicine, the last thing I want is her to be worrying about me even more. Even before my relationship with Lily, I felt my body was a drag on everything I did. My body is my burden alone, so as long as I'm with her, I'll continue to act as normal as possible. No, not particularly. Is that so? That's good, then. Luckily, she seems to have taken me at my word. Come to think of it, there was something else I wanted to ask. Oh? How should I put it? When you dream, do you see people and objects? Yeah, of course Oh. I feel more than a little sheepish for that slip of the tongue. However earnest it may be, Lily looks unperturbed, though. But you don't taste, feel, or smell things. I move to answer, but find myself stuck before thinking about it. The more I mull it over, the more I realize that her hypothesis is correct. That's true, I guess. I never looked at it that way. Are you saying that you do? For the most part, I only hear in dreams, but yes, sometimes I touch and smell things as well. I'm just asking since Akira thought it very strange that I did when I brought it up with her. If you don't either, then maybe it's due to my blindness. That would make sense. You rely on your other senses more than me, so maybe that affects your dreams as well. The wonders of the human body, I guess. For the rest of the time before school, we quietly eat the hearty breakfast in front of us, engaging a few small pieces of small talk as we do. Oh, so Rin, I haven't pointed this out, but Rin did finish her mural. It's one of those things where every time I think back to Rin, I'm like, she was all going on and on about she wasn't gonna meet the deadline, but it looks as if she finished it, unless she's been finishing over the course of however long it's been. So a quick peek out the door, assuring nobody's looking directly at the entrance of the boys' dormitory. So we walk out with the path clear. The weather's good today. I stretch as Lily and I make our way outside, the bright morning sun beaming down on us. By now, a few students can be seen doing the same, making their way to the main school building, either from the dorms or through the main gate. It does feel nice and warm. Our hands link, and her cane tapping on the ground, we begin in earnest our trip to the school building and join the chatting throngs of students around us. This would be the last day of exams, no? Yes. How are you going in them? Fairly well, all things considered. You seem a bit stressed by them, though. Is it that obvious, huh? I don't think it's just the exams, though. A lot of stuff's been happening in a short amount of time, and I'm not doing that well on the humanities subjects. You're doing well in science, though, aren't you? Well, it would be hard not to do well in science for me. Come to think of it, didn't you say before that you weren't very good at sciences and math? She suddenly looks very sheepish, my remark no doubt hitting home. Lily's sense of pride really can be a double-edged sword. Well, aside from that, have you ever given thought to what you might do with that ability? It seems a pity to waste it. A bit, mostly at Muto's prompting. In any case, I'll probably end up doing science as a career in some form. That's good to hear, Isao. As we enter the gardens, I suddenly receive an unsolicited pat on the back. The green-dressed culprit dances around to meet me, evidently not paying any heed to Lily at my side. I was joking about Kenji. Hey man, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, just Been busy lately with the exams and stuff.
Exams exclams. A true Renaissance man needs no study to excel in such things.
Kenji does strike me as the kind of person that does well in school, even if he has the horrid attendance record and poor work ethic, so I've little reason to doubt his abilities. To be honest, I'm a little envious of him. Between studying for exam and my time with Lily, I've had practically no time to myself. Maybe this is a bit like how Yuko feels. Good morning, Satao. Sito? Yeah, Sito. Probably Sito. Right, I have to remember that it's an O sound. It's not pronounced in the English way. Seto. So his actual name is Seto. Good morning, Seto. So his name is Kenji Seto? Ah, okay. It's good to hear you're doing well. It feels slightly odd to see Lily speaking so formally. She's come to address me more casually over the months, though I have seen her speak more formally to classmates from time to time as well. Some people never change, I guess. Not that I'd say her calm and polite manner is a bad thing. It was one of the reasons I liked being around her to begin with, after all. Kenji seems to take a moment to work out who it is beside me, and probably hasn't noticed us holding hands either. I wonder if those glasses of his actually do anything.
Oh, hey Lily. Good luck on your exams, too. I'll see you after school then, man.
The slight edge to his voice makes me think those words are meant to be an imperative rather than a casual farewell. I guess I'll have to smooth things over later. Sure. See ya. Kenji nods curtly. He moves to pass by us, but he's too busy glaring in Lily's general direction to take notice of her cane. Before I can try to react and save the situation, Kenji trips and reflectively reaches out for a handhold. Unfortunately, said handhold turns out to be Lily's arm.
Whoa!
Both fall to the ground in a sprawling heap, with me left feeling rather helpless. Oh, damn. Are you two okay? Kenji quickly rises back up, seemingly unfazed by the accident.
No problem, man, no problem. This is nothing. My body can take much worse abuse.
Lily lies face down on the grass. She doesn't look hurt by the incident, more startled than anything. I move closer to offer her my help. Are you all right, Lily?
Hey, Sato.
Sato, right. Remember, the U is an H in this case. Kenji offers her a hand, tentatively touching hers to let her know what he's doing. He says some odious things sometimes, but I do think that he may be a genuinely good person at heart. I imagine he feels pretty bad about this. To his surprise and mine, though, Lily pounds on the ground with her fist without warning.
Damn it!
Kenji freezes, entirely caught by surprise at her outbursts. I am just as shocked. She's never acted like this before, not even around Shizune. Seemingly only now remembering that there are people around her, Lily slowly climbs to her feet. Her face, as she does so, makes me retreat a little. I only catch a glimpse of her expression before she turns away, but it's not something I'll forget soon. Oh no. She showed plenty of annoyance during her clashes with Shizune, but this flash of anger was something else. There's no way that this is just about this petty incident. She pauses for a moment before sighing and walking on ahead. I really don't know what to make of this. I'll, talk to you later, dude. See ya.
Yeah, see ya.
Kenji scratches the back of his head, trying to find something to say, then shrugs and walks away, giving us a wide berth. I quickly catch up to Lily. She turns her head a little to acknowledge my presence, but nothing else. I should probably scold her for lashing out like that, but I also don't want to get into a shouting match with her. She's still very obviously annoyed. In the end, I keep my mouth shut and wait for her to cool off. Ooh, that was crazy out of character. Oh no. Okay. Now, I don't know if the story is going this way, but you know how I've been saying, she may be heading back to Scotland with Akira too, right? This could be her last day here. She's finishing her exams and then she's going. So anything that ruins her what she wants to be the perfect ending of her story here at Yumaku could be ruined because of something like that, right? And like this is this is the only thing that I can think of, because she doesn't seem like the person just to lash out like that unless something is very, very important. The reason why we had such a lavish date yesterday, the reason why she stayed over at Asau's place, like these things are telltale signs that maybe these are the last memories that she's trying to make before leaving. Like a perfect day walking to school together under the nice warm sunlight, and then it's ruined by Kenji, he was just in essence just clumsy. Like he didn't do it on purpose. It's not like he did that on purpose. He's just clumsy, right? So, oh gosh, ooh, this will be interesting to see how this progresses next time. Well, let's play Katawa Shoujo. Take care, guys, and stay frosty, and I'll see you tomorrow.